On a live. I should have checked my hours before I did this live, but I got 4 days before my time goes out and before my time replenishes itself. So it's nothing that's too big or there's nothing that's too, it is what it is. Um, so I came on here and I'm just gonna do like a little dump. I'm just gonna say what I have to say and do what I have to do because it needs to be done. Okay, so um for the life of me, I will never understand how grown folks cannot take accountability for their actions. If it's for the life of me, I don't understand why my background is all of a sudden loud. But we're not going to get into that because at this point, we're not dealing with that right now. Anyway, but for the life of me, I will never understand grown folks not taking accountability for their actions. And with me just saying that, I'm throwing people under the bus that I don't even realize I'm throwing under the bus. And they might feel like I'm specifically talking to them. And I'm pretty sure I'm not. But at this point, I kind of low key don't give a damn. Because people gonna think what they think. But I feel like I feel like if you want people to take accountability for what they did to you, and you know how it feels to be around people who don't take accountability for what they did to you. You know how it feels to be that person. Why go and be exactly like the person that didn't take accountability for what happened to you? I don't understand that. That's weird. But that's life. And I learned that that's life. There's always going to be people who don't take accountability for what they do and how they do it. That's just it. That's just it. You can't take accountability for what you have done wrong, but you expect the other person to take accountability for what they done wrong to you. It doesn't make sense. It's weird. It's weird, but it's crazy. But it is what it is. So I'm doing this, and I said this is before the podcast because I'm about to do my podcast today, and it's about Paige Burchfield, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about accountability and how people need to take accountability a little bit. for their actions. But I really wanted to dig into the fact that I can't get people to take accountability for their actions and for what they have not done with themselves. Okay. So that's that. Okay. So I kind of want to brief you on what's going to be my podcast today. I want to talk about that a little bit. I said it's going to be Paige Birchfield, and it's about people living secret lives. And what the reason I started off with accountability is because the reason why people lead secret lives is to keep on the facade that they're trying to put out there for you to believe. Okay. With this story, this woman wanted people to believe that she was one way and she was this and she was that. And she really was a different person, a different way. A lot of times people start lying, people start stealing, and people start putting on a facade because they are trying to cover up the hard hidden truth. And I told y'all that was a problem I really had when I was watching Angeline. Angeline didn't want nobody to know about Ronia or Renee, whatever her name was before. She didn't want nobody to know who that was. And still to this day, she claims that she was born Angeline. And it's one thing to have a persona and to be their persona, but it's another thing to make it a lifestyle and make it a thing to where you can't turn it off. So even at home, when you're in your house, you are this persona that you put out there. So last night I screwed up, honey, and I started watching P-Valley. And I watched, I think, the first 3 episodes of the first season. One, I see why everybody likes the show. I see why everybody is dealing with the show. But the main reason I watched it is because I want to know where Nikki Gilbert is coming from. Nikki Gilbert claims that they stole this idea from her. It's not too far fetched for someone to steal your idea. But you usually find out. I would say that somebody said that Lee Daniels stole the idea of Empire from them, and I will say after a while, Empire did start to seem like it was somebody else's idea and had a Lee Daniels spin on it. This is not me dragging Lee Daniels, but it got weird the last episode of the first season. I'm trying to figure out why one season Cookie was wearing a gorilla costume. I mean, as much as we don't want to be attached to being a freaking monkey, you're in a gorilla costume. But it's not even here nor there with me. But so I started watching P-Valley because there's a free trial until the end of June of P-Valley. And the show is about this lady named Haley. Her name is Haley, but her idea says Lakeisha Savage. Okay. It's kind of like the Jocelyn Hernandez, Chanelica Bettencourt bullshit. Y'all know? And she goes by the name of Autumn Night on as a stripper. It's about her becoming a stripper. And so these strippers are trying to get close to her, trying to get to know her, but she won't let nobody get close. She did let this one guy get close. But she wouldn't let no, because the only person that she let get close is basically this lawyer. Okay. But she is hiding something. And so she's managed to hide something. And I noticed like people are judging her from her exterior and how she looked and how she's presenting herself. But people don't know her struggle. People don't know that she was found around water with a luggage and she had a bruised up face. Like people just assume they knew her and people don't like her and they feel like she is privileged. because they assume that she's one thing, but she's not. But everybody know that her real name is not Lakeisha Savage. That's a fact. I don't know who she stole stuff. I don't know who name she stole, but that's what she took. Okay. So I'm looking at this show. And she basically says, she has to deal with her problem, like her personal problem. I haven't gotten a second season, so nobody tell me what's going to happen in second season because I'm still on first season. She basically has to deal with the problems that she created. She basically has to deal with the man in the mirror, specifically the woman in the mirror, okay? And that's the crazy part. People assume when you pursue this certain persona, they assume when you put yourself out there that you are this thing. But you really have other issues that's going on. So what happened is she has been able to, keep people nose out her business. But what happened was all her past traumas start to slowly come to the surface with her. Okay. So, like, she came there. One, she told this girl how to say Yves Saint Laurent properly. They're like, okay, what you doing here? Why you over here trying to take our money? You over here saying the name of this brand properly because it's a French brand. That was the first clue she was hiding who she really was. And I thought it was weird too. She had a suitcase, and in the suitcase, she had a pair of Louboutin shoes. And yes, I said Louboutin. So she slowly exposes herself. But the main thing that slowly exposed her is when she's in the car. And when you're in the car and the car's being washed and it gets all suddy and there's water and this soap suds are all around the car and somebody's washing the car with all the soap suds and stuff like that. Well, she starts to have a panic attack because she felt like she was in her previous situation. She had a panic attack from PTSD, from post-traumatic stress, something that happened to her. And it kind of slowly showed her what's going on. So one of the girls, one of Mercedes, when the female lead characters is Mercedes, one of the top paid strippers, Mercedes is trying to be helpful, asking what's going on, what's wrong. I mean, there was a whole lot of other stuff that happened, but I'm just giving you an example because nobody ever noticed it or nobody ever seen it or whatever. But Mercedes, tried to help her, ask her what's going on, and she's like, "What's wrong? Like, what's your problem?" And she said, what's going on?" Of course, she snaps at her, or whatever, and she thinks that Mercedes was the one that locked the door, even though it was safety child lock on the back seat doors. So today I'm talking about Paige Birchfield, and it's about this person leading what seems to be a perfect life, and it later on comes and bite her in the ass. And so I wanted to come on here and give you a preview of that and kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. A lot of people are living fake lives. And like I said, you may put out one persona to other people, whether it's Lakeisha Savage, Haley Colton, or Autumn Night. You put out different personas to different people, but you're the one who has to deal with the real true you at the end of the day, and what the real true you did and the consequences the real true you went through. With that being said, I hope you guys after this live go to my podcast so we can talk about Paige Birchfield and how leaving a life of illusion can lead to something more dramatic happening to you. With that being said, I see you guys later. And I will be back here on Friday. So, bye. I'll see you later.